Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. So in this video we are going to understand how to automatically share Facebook leads with real estate agents via email. So are you also running a real estate business? Then this video is definitely for you. So I'm doing the same, I'm running a real estate business, and to promote and grow my business I'm using Facebook lead ads. And now I want that as soon as a new lead is generated in my Facebook lead ads, automatically that lead should be assigned to different agents based on the property type. So for this we are going to create a connection between Facebook lead ads, Google Sheets and then Gmail. So I'm going to assign the leads with the help of Google Sheets and Gmail. So we are going to do this process without knowing any programming or coding language with the help of an amazing automation software which is Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to do all of this because I want to convert my leads into paying clients. So do you also wish to learn this process step by step? Then let me take you to my computer screen. Welcome to my screen. So as you know, in this video we are going to understand how to automatically share Facebook leads with real estate agents via email. So as you know that I'm running a real estate company, and to promote and grow my company I'm using Facebook lead ads. And over here you can see the Facebook page of my company which is Prime Properties. And now I want that as soon as a new Facebook lead ad is added right over here, automatically that lead should be assigned to the agents in my Google Sheets. Over here you can see for the commercial, residential and rental, these are the property types. With the help of these property types only I want to assign these to agents, and then I want that also a mail should be sent to my agent about the lead details so that I can convert my leads into paying clients. So to do all of this I've opened the landing page of Pabbly simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy. So as soon as we are going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user you can click on sign up for free and you are going to get 100 of tasks free every month. But I'm an existing user, so I'm going to click on sign in right over here. And now it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm going to click on access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect's account. And now it is opening my dashboard, and to start with the automation we are going to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So I want to save the workflow in this folder which is automations, and I want to name my workflow as how to automatically share Facebook leads with real estate agents via email. And then we are going to click on create right over here. And now it is opening the most important window of our automation, that is our workflow window. This is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and actions follow the commands. And as you know that we can have only a single commander but multiple followers. So where we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. So now we are going to select our trigger application which is Facebook lead ads because I want that as soon as a new lead is received in my Facebook lead ad, automatically my workflow should be triggered. So I'm going to search for it and then we are going to select it. And now for the trigger event we are going to select it as new lead instant, and then we are going to click on connect. And as you can see that it is asking me to add a new connection or select the existing connection. So if you have already connected your Facebook lead ads account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection and then connect with Facebook lead ads. And now it is asking me to select my account, so I'm going to select it and then we are going to click on continue. And as soon as we are going to click on continue, you can see that we have successfully connected our Facebook lead ads account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is asking me for the page and the lead gen form. So as you know, the name of my page is Prime Properties, so I'm going to select same right over here. And then for the lead gen form we are going to select a lead gen form which I've created which is lead ads form. So I wish to create this automation only for this particular form, so that's why I'm going to select this form. If you wish to create this automation for all your lead gen forms, you can select all lead gen form or any another desired form. And after doing all of this we are going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see that now it is saying waiting for a webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response we have to do a test submission, and in order to do the test submission we have to open a new tab and then we are going to search for Meta for developers right over here. So I'm going to search for it and then we are going to open Meta for developers, and as soon as we are going to open the landing page of Meta for developers we are going to go on more and then tools, and now we are going to scroll and select lead ads RTO debug tool. tool, and now it is opening my lead ads testing tool. So with the help of this tool, we are going to do a test submission. So we are going to select the page and the form. So for the page, we are going to select it as prime properties, and then for the form, we are going to select it as lead ads form, and then we are going to click on preview form. And as you can see that now it is asking me for some details, so I'm going to fill in the details. So it is saying what type of property are you interested in. So I'm going to keep it as commercial, and now it is asking me for the first name, last name, email, phone number and city. So I'm going to fill all of this. As you can see over here are all the property types I want to create this automation for. You can see that these are the same types I've added in my Google Sheets too. So I'm going to select commercial right over here, and then for the first name I'm going to keep it as demo, last name as user, so I'm going to enter it. For the email we are going to keep it as demo@pabblytudes.com. For the phone number I'm going to keep it as this, and now for the city I'm going to keep it as Bhopal, so I'm going to enter it right over here. And now after entering all the details I'm going to go and continue and then submit. And yes, you can see your test lead has been sent. So this means that lead ads testing tool has sent the details of our lead to our workflow. So I'm going to open my workflow and check that if we have captured the response or not. So I'm going to open my workflow, and yes, you can see that Pabbly has captured the response A. So I'm going to refresh the fields, and over here you can see that this is my response. Over here you can see the property type, the first name, the last name, the email, the phone number and the city. So yes, with this our trigger step is successful, and now we are moving on to our action step. So for our action application we are going to select router. It is a feature by Pabbly which helps you to create routes in your workflow. So I'm going to search for it, and then we are going to select it. And now for the action event we are going to select it as conditionally run, and then we are going to click on connect. And as you can see that it has created me 2 routes, so I'm going to add another route, and over here we are going to create 3 routes, one for commercial agents, one for residential agents and one for rental agents. So I'm going to rename all of these routes first. So I'm going to go on this 3 dots and then rename. So here we are going to rename the route 1 as commercial agents. Then we are going to click on update. For the route 2 I'm going to rename it as residential agents. So I'm going to click on rename, and we are going to delete this, and then we are going to again click on update. We are going to do same for the route 3 also. I'm going to click on rename. Again we are going to click on update, and as you can see that we have successfully created 3 routes. So I want that if my leads fill in the property type as commercial, then this route should run. If they fill it as residential, then this route should run, and if they fill it as rental, then this route should run. So I'm going to click on see filter and action step, and we are going to set up our first route which is commercial agent. So I'm going to click on this, and now it is saying select label. So I want the label to be property type, so we are going to select it, and as you can see over here is commercial. So for the filter type we are going to keep it as equals to only, and then for the value we are going to enter commercial right over here manually. And now after entering the value we are going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see status success message condition is true. So this means that the property type is commercial. That's why it is saying the condition is true. If the property type would have been residential or rental, then this route will not continue further. So now after selecting my filter, we are going to add the action step right over here. So for the action application, we are going to select Google Sheets right over here, because I want that the details should be added in my Google Sheets first as soon as the new lead is received. So I want that the details should be added right over here in this spreadsheet and this sheet which is commercial. So I'm going back to my workflow, and over here we are going to select Google Sheets, and then for the action event we are going to select it as add new row, and then we are going to click on connect. And as you can see again it is asking me for the same. So if you have already connected your Google Sheets account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection and then sign in with Google. And now after selecting my account, it is asking me for some permissions. So I'm going to click on allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. You can also click on allow Pabbly safe, and as soon as we are going to click on allow, you can see that we have successfully connected our Google Sheets account with our Pabbly's workflow. And over here you can see connected. And now it is asking me to select the spreadsheet name and the sheet name. So as you know, the name of my spreadsheet is new leads and the name of my sheet is commercial. So I'm going to select the same right over here. For the spreadsheet we are going to select it as new leads, and then for the sheet we are going to select the sheet as commercial. And now it is asking me for the first name, last name, email and phone number. So we are going to map these details. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step, and as you know our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Facebook lead ads as our trigger application. So we are going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only, and as soon as we are going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new lead received. So I'm going to give you an example that over here in front of first name, if I'm going to enter demo manually, suppose this. So if I'm going to enter demo manually, then this will not change with every new lead received because this is a static information and I've entered it manually. But if I'm going to map it from the previous response like this, then this will definitely change because my previous response will also change. So that's why we do mapping right over here to run our workflow in real time. And now we are going to map the last name also. So I'm going to search for last name, and as you can see, user, so we are going to map it. We are going to do same for the email also. I'm going to search for it, and as you can see, demo@pabblytuts.com. So we are going to map it. We are going to do same for the phone number also. I'm going to search for it, and then we are going to map it. And after mapping all the details, we are going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see that we have received the positive response that we have added the details in this sheet, which is commercial. So I'm going to open my sheet and check that if the details have been added there or not. And yes, you can see first name demo, last name user, email and phone number has been added in my spreadsheet too. So I'm going back to my workflow. With this, this action step is also successful. And now we are going to add another action step, which is Gmail. So I wish to assign these leads to my agent. So for that, we are going to search for Gmail right over here, and then we are going to select it. And now for the action event, we are going to select it as send email v2. Over here we are going to scroll, and over here you can see send email v2. So we are going to select this, and then we are going to click on connect. And as you can see, again it is asking me for the same. So if you have already connected your Gmail account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, again you have to follow me, click on add a new connection and then connect with Gmail. And now again, after selecting my account, it is asking me for some permissions. So I'm going to click on allow again and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because as you know that our data is secure with Pabbly. So I'm going to click on allow, and as soon as we are going to click on allow, you can see that we have successfully connected our Gmail account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is asking me for the recipient email address. So I'm going to enter the email address of the agent right over here manually, which is commercialagent@pabblytuts.com. So I'm going to enter it right over here. And yes, you can see that we have successfully entered the email address, and we didn't map it because I want this to remain static only. And now it is asking me for CC and BCC. So as you can see that these fields are not the required fields. So we are going to leave it as blank, and then we are going to move on forward. And now it is asking me for the sender's email address. So I'm going to keep it as this only. We are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the sender's name. So I'm going to keep the sender's name as the name of my company, which is Prime Properties. So I'm going to enter it. And now we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the email subject. So I want the email subject to be new lead alert type. Over here you can see instead of type, we are going to map the property type. So I'm going to open it, and as you can see commercial, so we are going to map it. So now the email subject is new lead alert commercial. And now it is asking me for the reply to. So again, this is not the required field, so I'm going to leave it as blank. It is asking me for the email content type. So I'm going to keep it as plain only. It is asking me for the email content. So I'm going to enter the email content right over here, which is this, which is hi, we have got a new hot lead from Facebook lead ads campaign. The name of the lead is interested in buying this property type. So we are going to map the name of our lead. I'm going to search for it, and as you can see demo user, so we are going to map demo first, put a space and then user. So now it is demo user is interested in a property type. So I'm going to map the type also right over here, which is commercial. So now it has become demo user is interested in a commercial property. And again over here it is saying here are the details, help you connect. So I'm going to map the details again. We are going to search for name again, and over here you can see first name. So we are going to map it, and then we are going to map the last name. We are going to do same for the email. I'm going to search for it. We are going to map demo@pabblytuts.com. We are going to do same for the phone number. Over here you can see it. So we are going to map it. We are going to do same for city also. We are going to map it right over here, which is Bhopal. So now after mapping all of these details, we have successfully completed our email content, and now we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the file name and attachment. So as you can see, both of these fields are not the required. So I'm going to leave it as blank, and then we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the label ID. So I'm going to keep it as inbox only. It is asking me for the signature. So if you wish, you can definitely add a signature right over here, but I don't wish to add this because this is not the required field. So I'm going to leave it as blank, and then we are going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see that we have received the positive response that we have successfully sent our agent a mail. So I'm going to open my Gmail and check that if we have sent the agent the mail or not. So I'm going to open my Gmail, and yes, over here you can see Prime Properties new lead alert commercial. So we are going to open it, and as you can see, hi, we have got a new lead. All the same details. Demo user is interested in commercial property. Over here you can see the name, email, phone number and city. So yes, to completing this, our route is successful, and now we are going to move to another route, which is residential agents. So now we are going going to do same for the residential and rental agents too. So to do this, instead of repeating the whole thing again and again, we are just going to clone this commercial agent step, and we are going to edit some details. So I'm going to go on the three dots, and then we are going to go on clone. It is saying clone this route, so we are going to click on yes, clone. And now it is cloned the route which is commercial agents. So I'm going to rename this route which is residential agents. So now we are going to click on update, and now we are going to remove this route which we have already created. So I'm going to delete these, and now we are going to delete the rental also, because we are going to clone the next step also. So now we are going to open our residential agents, see filter and action steps, and over here you can see that we have already completed this step because I have already cloned this. So you can also clone this route, just we are going to edit some of the details right over here. So as you can see over here, it is saying select label, so we are going to select it as same only, but for the value this time we are going to enter residential right over here. So I'm going to enter it, and now after entering it we are going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see error condition is false because our response was of commercial. So that's why it is showing this. So as soon as we are going to receive the response of residential, it will automatically run this route. So now we are going to move on forward for the Google Sheets. And over here you can see all the details are already filled, and we just have to change the sheet, which is over here we're going to click on refresh fields. We are just going to change the sheet from commercial to residential. So I'm going to select residential right over here, and we are going to change this. And yes, you can see that we have successfully changed this. Rest of the details would be same, and again we are going to click on save and send test request. And now after completing this step 2, we are going to move on forward for the Gmail. So I'm going to open it. And now over here we have to change few things. So for the email address over here, instead of commercial agent, we are going to keep it as residential agent. So I'm going to enter it. And then we are going to move on forward after entering the email address. Again, it is asking me for CC and BCC. So we are going to leave it as blank. We are going to move on forward. And now for the sender's name, we are going to keep it as same only. Over here it is asking me for the email subject. We are going to keep it as same only because with the new response, this commercial will change in residential automatically. We are going to keep the rest of the details also same because these details will automatically change because I have mapped it. We are going to move on forward, and again we are going to click on save and send test request. And now you can see that we have successfully completed this too, and this means that we have successfully completed our residential agents too. Now we are going to do same for the rental too. So I'm going to clone this step again. And now we are going to rename this as rental agents. So I'm going to click on update right over here. And as you can see the new steps, I'm going to click on see filter and action steps. Again, we are going to change the same things. Over here it is asking me for the label value. So we are going to change this as rental. So I'm going to enter it. Then we are going to move on forward and click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see condition is false because the response received is of commercial. So we are going to move on forward. We are going to do same for the Google Sheets also. So in this step, we are just going to replace the sheet. Over here we are going to select it as rental. So I'm going to refresh the field right over here, and we are going to select rental right over here. And now after selecting this, we are going to move on forward. Rest of the details will remain same, and we are going to click on save and send test request. Again, we are going to do same for the Gmail also. We are just going to change the email address. For the recipient email address, I'm going to keep it as rental agents now. So I'm going to change it. It is rentalagents@pabblytudes.com. Rest of the details will remain same. So I'm going to move forward. And as you can see, all the rest of the details will remain same. So I'm going to click on save and send test request again. So as you can see that because I cloned this step, this was really easy. Otherwise, I would have to repeat the whole process again and again. And yes, we have successfully set up all these 3 routes. So now we are going to click on close. And yes, you can see that we have successfully set it up all these 3 routes. So now I'm going to do a test submission, and we are going to check all of these routes that if they are running in real time or not. So first, to do all of this, I'm going to open my lead ads testing tool. We are going to delete the previous lead and refresh the page. It is really important to delete the previous lead and refresh the page. Otherwise, you'll not be able to create a new lead or preview the new form. So for the page, I'm going to select it as prime properties again, and then for the form, we are going to select it as lead add forms, and then we are going to click on preview form, and again we are going to fill in the details. So this time for the property type, I'm going to fill it as rental. Then for the first name, I'm going to keep it as test, last name as user, so I'm going to enter it. For the email, I'm going to keep it as testuser@pabblytudes.com. For the phone number, I'm going to keep it as this, and now for the city, I'm going to keep it as Delhi this time. So I'm going to enter it, and then we are going to click on continue and then submit. And yes, you can see your test lead has been sent. So this means that lead ads testing tool has sent the details of our lead to our workflow. Pabbly captured the response, triggered the workflow, and further added the details in our Google Sheets, and also sent an email to our agent that we have received the new lead. So I'm going to open my Google Sheets and Gmail and check that if we have done this or not. And this time we are not going back to our workflow and clicking on save and send test request. I'll directly go to my spreadsheet, and then from here we are going to go on rental. And as you can see, first name test, last name user, email test user @pabblytudes.com, and this is the phone number. So yes, we have successfully added the details in our Google Sheets. Now we are going to open our Gmail. We are going to go back right from here, and yes, you can see new lead alert rental. Over here you can see that we have sent the mail to rentalagents@pabblytudes.com, and yes, you can see that this is the same lead, only the details we mapped has changed. So yes, with this our workflow is partially successful, which is the rental agents route is successful. We are going to test this for residential also. I'm going back to my lead ads testing tool. We are going to delete the previous lead, refresh the page. Again we are going to select the page and form as prime properties and lead ad forms, and again we are going to click on preview form. And now we are going to select the property type as residential. This time for the first name, I'm going to keep it as smart. Last name as user only, so I'm going to enter it. For the email, we are going to keep it as user@pabblytudes.com, so I'm going to enter it. For the phone number, I'm going to keep it as this time. And then for the city, we are going to keep it as Indore, so I'm going to enter it right over here. And then we are going to click on continue and then submit. And yes, you can see again our test lead has been sent. So I'm going to open my Google Sheets and check for the details. And then we are going to go on residential. And yes, you can see first name smart, last name user, where you can see the email and the phone number. So I'm going to open my Gmail. We are going to go back. And yes, you can see new lead alert residential. Over here you can see all the details. It is saying smart user is interested in residential property. So yes, the details that we mapped has been changed, and the details which we didn't has been remained same. And over here you can see the mail is sent to residential agents@pabblytudes.com. So yes, with this our workflow is successful, and I'll just summarize the workflow for you once. So for the trigger application, we selected Facebook lead ads. For the trigger event, we selected new lead instant. For the action application, we selected router, which is a feature by Pabbly, and then for the action event, we selected conditionally run. Then we created 3 routes, for one for commercial agents, one for residential agents, and one for rental agents. And over here you can see that what we did inside the routes, I selected a filter right over here. So for the label, we selected the type of the property, filter type as equals to, and then we entered the value right over here, and as soon as we received the response, we continued this workflow further. Then I wanted that these same details should be added in my spreadsheet in different sheets, and then I wanted them to assign to my agents via Gmail. So that's why I selected all these action steps, and we did this same for the rest of the routes too. And yes, we were successful with our workflow. Over here you can see the details I added to residential, over here you can see to rental, and over here you can see the details I added to commercial, and I'm going to show you the emails also. You can see that we have assigned 3 leads to 3 different agents, one for commercial, one for rental, and one for residential. And yes, we were successful with our workflow with this. So if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone the workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. Thank you for watching. Not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly, you can integrate many more applications. So now, if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.